Hey, I'm Taylor Craig.
I'm Alex Lisa.
I'm Nicholas Bumbaka.
And welcome to the
Pucking
Panthers
Podcast.
We Don't Give a Puck. And we're back for a long time since we've actually had an episode. Been slacking, hard to get on the same schedule. You can tell that Ryan looks a little different. Nick, it's nice to have you down, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How was it? He went to his first game. We won it in a shootout.
Yeah.
What was it like to watch that game?
It was fun. Day one, so it's good.
Yeah.
Every time I go there now, they're gonna win.
And your favorite player, Nick Bukestad.
Bukestad scored. It was thanks to me.
To tie the game, finally. Yeah, man, he's a good luck charm. It's good to have him here, all the way from Quebec, all the way from Montreal.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I'm going down, and he's here for 3 games, so we got a lot to cover. But anyway, been a while. We're slacking.
Panthers are slacking.
Panthers are slacking, but you know what? I mean, we didn't even have an episode for when Rowe took over.
Hold on.
And when Gallant got fired.
If you really think back, because a lot of fans on Twitter like to talk about this year team versus last year team. Last year's team is pretty mediocre and around the same kind of record that we have right now, other than the fact that last year's team went on that 12-game winning streak starting December 15th. So, I mean, I don't know. Do we have another big winning streak in our pocket?
It gets a little hilarious where like people on Twitter, if we lose one game, like if we would have lost the game against Buffalo, there would have been hysteria on Twitter.
I would have freaked out.
Everyone would have flipped out.
I don't really like Ronaldo.
No? You think he relies too much on the analytics?
Yeah.
You were a fan of Goodbranson, right?
I was a fan of Goodbranson, yes.
Okay, so when we start moving away from Goodbranson, I mean, we lost a lot of guys last year from defense. I mean, we lost Kulikov, Goodbranson, Campbell, Mitchell was gone. Totally changing of defense. Do you think that was like kind of like an analytics type of move going with this new defense?
Yes, it was. It kind of destroyed the chemistry as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken us so long.
See, this is the thing. I think I agree with all that, but the thing is that the only change we really made was getting rid of Kulikov and Goodbranson. Campbell was leaving no matter what. He has a huge boner for Chicago, and he was always going back no matter what. And Mitchell, I mean, with his concussion stuff, he was not playing in the NHL ever again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had to make moves. I could have seen us signing Yandel anyway, or maybe even Demers too. I don't...
That caught me off guard.
Maybe we I thought we were getting Yandel for sure. I didn't think about Demers.
Yeah.
But just the way that they were talking after the offseason that they were gonna do something, and after losing Campbell, it's like Keith Yandel's right there. You gotta get him,
Yeah.
And see, the only thing I keep going back and forth on, should we have kept Kulikov and Goodbranson, or should we have gone to Pissick and Matheson and getting, I mean, Matheson getting full-time role, because if Goodbranson and Kulikov stayed, Matheson probably wouldn't have had a full-time role.
Exactly. Here's my thing on that is Kulikov, he prone to turnovers, but overall he was a reliable defenseman. But he cost $4.3 million, and that was at the end of like a 3 or 4 year term, 3 or 4. I think it was 3 years. $4.3 million.
Yeah.
He wanted a raise. He wanted to get a raise, and this is a unrestricted free agent year for him. So by getting rid of him, by trading him for a guy like Mark Pissick, who is much cheaper, younger, and we're gonna have more time to develop him, I think it was a good move. I'm glad we sent.
I don't really have a problem with the moves. I'm just on the side that he was saying about the chemistry. That's all I'm bringing up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm saying that I keep flip-flopping. I keep going over and over. Wait, should we have kept Goodbranson and Kulikov? Just because I'm not even thinking about the money. Forget that. Obviously, all the moves we made over the offseason were completely like genius with money-wise. You know what I mean? We now have $10 million in cap space for next year.
Yeah.
Having everyone signed to long-term contract. You know what I mean? The whole defensive core that signed up and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just that you're thinking about the chemistry and everything. I don't know. That's why I keep going back and forth. Should we have done that to the defense just because of the chemistry side, not the money side?
Yeah. It also.
But you don't even know if they would have even made a difference. Maybe we would have came in and been horrible this year also because we didn't make any changes.
That's true. Yeah. The what's concerning me is the lack of scoring and the sloppy defensive coverage. And I think that's why Vinny Viola pulled the trigger and was like, all right, the line, he was freaking out. I think he had like a major freak out, and he was like, we need to rapidly change it.
And the thing is, see, that's where you can go back to, maybe it was a good idea to make a lot of changes in the offseason, because last year, you look at Riley Smith, Vincent Trocheck, Barkov, Huberdeau, Yager, all these players that were scoring huge for us last year, they all had like insanely high shooting percentages.
Yeah, that's what
very unsustainable.
Yeah.
Our
our shooting percentage last year was over 10%. It was the second highest in the NHL. And this year, our shooting percentage is 7.5%. We are 26th in the NHL in shooting percentage.
We came back down to
what that
basically.
is basically, and what that indicates is usually the NHL average falls somewhere in the middle. So when we start coming back to life, by the way, we have a winning record. When more of these pucks start going in the net, I mean, you're just going to see more wins. And 7.5% shooting percentage with a record like we have, I think, is indicative of a playoff team. It needs to level off around like 8.89%. That's when you're really going to start to see us winning some games.
And it's probably going to happen when Huberdeau comes back.
Yeah.
And we can level out the playing field on offense. And speaking of Huberdeau, he has been practicing actually by himself, skating really hard apparently.
Yeah. The last update was that he's recovering on schedule, and he's
walking around. He's off the boot. Everything.
He's expected to come back February. So fans are waiting for that, and that's going to be a huge relief off that top line.
Yeah.
So game against Buffalo, big moment with Jaromir Jagr. He had a 3-point game to tie Mark Messier. What was it like seeing that in your first game?
It was amazing. The atmosphere was good for the standing ovation.
Yeah, everyone standing.
Yeah, everyone was standing. You know, it was fun. You know, good for him.
Yeah,
he's a very good player.
Yeah, I loved when they were announcing the goal, Bukestad's goal, and then and getting to his assist. And the ref was getting ready for the face-off, and Trocheck actually stepped back, and he did not let the ref. He was like, no, you're gonna sit here and listen to Jagr tying Mark Messier for second all time, ref.
Yeah. Well, you know, you gotta expect Trocheck to do that because it's on his list to beat that record. Because he's the next Gretzky.
He thinks he's the next Gretzky.
But you know why?
Why?
Jagr at that point, because Nick Bukestad.
That's right, Nick Bukestad getting his first goal of the season. Let's get into pucking questions. We asked you some questions on Twitter and Reddit, and we're gonna get to some questions right now. First pucking question comes from Ray Haluska at Cruising Ray. He seems like a partier. He asked, is this defense tough enough for postseason should Panthers qualify?
I think they're skillful enough.
Skillful enough for the postseason?
Is that even a word?
It is. Skillful? Yes.
I don't think, I mean, isn't our team like leading or something, or like one of the top 10 of hits?
Trocheck is leading in hits.
Are we?
Panthers, yeah.
But isn't like our team as a whole, like in the whole NHL, like leading in hits, like in top 10 or something? And people are saying not tough enough. I don't really understand that thing. I don't really care about that kind of stuff.
Tough enough as in good Branson.
Yeah, I guess. I don't, because we don't go and hit someone when they're in front of the wall. I see them going around and grabbing them.
I think what Ray is kind of insinuating is that to be successful in the playoffs, you have to have a tough team and a team that's gonna. Or the problem with our mistakes so far has been that we're not tough enough. I don't know if that's the case.
I don't think that's the case.
But yeah, even so, say we get Petrovic back. Say we get McElrath starts getting some reps in. You know, those are two really tough customers.
I like McElrath a lot.
Yeah, McElrath he had a phenomenal game that we lost terribly, but he had a goal in 2 fights and he had some hits.
McElrath seems like a guy who can hit and fight like Goodbranson.
Yeah.
Probably not as great as Goodbranson could, because Goodbranson had some pretty freaking amazing hits, but he can also get those points. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna be like a vandal defenseman getting
more
points, you know?
skillful.
Yeah, he could still get he can get an assist here and there, and then maybe even a shot on net and stuff where Goodbranson would miss the net. Yeah, exactly. Because of one game where he made a stupid mistake, but
it was
all
a really
of our
bad
players,
giveaway.
Yeah, but you can count on your hand how many giveaways that all the other players have been playing every single. You know what I mean? Like they've all been doing it too.
Yeah, no, we've been really guilty of that. But in the playoffs, I think one of our biggest problems last year in the playoffs was that we weren't fast enough. I think we couldn't keep up with the Islanders' speed, and they just kind of overwhelmed us.
I also think Luongo also was out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing, and I totally agree. We played Luongo ridiculously much. We played him 3 games in 4 nights, and yeah, Thomas Grice can probably keep up with that. Luongo couldn't. Luongo was tired, and that's why I don't think the Panthers would ever win a championship with Gallant as their coach. So, you know what? People are going to hate on me. Everyone loves Gallant. I love him as a personality. I love him as a great guy. But as a coach, I don't think he was going to be the one to take us to the cup. Patrick Wolf, he asks us, he says, Ekblad has 34 penalty minutes in 33 games, the worst plus-minus on the team, -16, and only 3 assists. What's going on?
People aren't scoring.
People aren't scoring?
Yeah, he's taking all the assists from Ekblad on defense.
I don't know. He's getting the goals. I mean, doesn't he have like 7 or 8 goals by now? Ekblad, I think he has 7. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where the assists are. I think it has to do with the team, the players in front of him from last year that everyone is saying, or you know what I mean, that they're not blaming them for anything this year. They're not scoring, you know?
I don't know if it so much depends on the forwards. I think a lot of it has to do with him not having Campbell. Yeah, I think that's a really big part.
And he's struggling on defense a lot.
Yeah.
But with the
why are we pairing him with Kindle right now?
I don't know.
It is not the guy. At least give him a chance to blend with either Yandel or Matheson.
Well, they tried that in the beginning, and then Gallant gave up on it.
They gave up on the idea. I mean, he is a top 4 defenseman. You cannot have Kindle in our top 4. So just have someone who can blend well with Ekblad, and even if it's rough for a few games, just have him build something with someone. And it's got to be Yandel. Yandel and him have got to work it out.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, -16. There's just so many plays that I see with Ekblad this year that are just really.
He's just not in the zone. It's just he's not there.
He goes for the harder plays. You know, he's not really going for the easy pass.
What I think it is, I think it's a mixture of 2 things. 1, the A on his chest, it's putting too much pressure on him, and 2, that big contract that he just got is putting a lot of pressure on him also, and he's trying to be like Sidney Crosby out there. He's trying to be the cat. He knows that he's getting that captaincy. He knows you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows he's the guy, and it's just getting way into his head, you know? I think that has a lot to do with it.
Might have something there.
But I also have this thing of maybe the concussion that he got.
Oh yeah.
In the World Cup may have
an effect on him.
An effect on his play.
Maybe.
And so then he could took a week off or something like that, because I find he went into the game too early.
Yeah.
And I still find it's affecting him or something like that.
Yeah. Then he skipped like whole training camp and everything.
Yeah, he also skipped training camp. So.
Yeah. That's a good point. And he might also, and you see this with a lot of guys that come back from concussions, is they have a problem with confidence, where they're maybe shy away from a hit and make a dumb pass or not make the right play. And I'm not accusing Ekblad of anything, but something's off with him, you know?
It's just not Ekblad.
It's not.
It's weird. The goals are there. That's what I'm not worried about the goals.
Yeah.
You know, 7 goals is pretty good for him, I guess, at this point in the year. But the assist,
you expect more.
Whatever, you know what I mean? But the
more.
defense is it's just horrible. The defense is just not there.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But it's an enigma right now. But I think if you pair him with someone like Matheson or Yandel, just give them some games together, and they'll start. Especially a guy like Yandel.
It seems like how Rowe is doing it though, is that he's switching them up every single game. It's like Demers and Yandel are together, then all of a sudden it's Yandel and Makarak. Then it's Yandel and Ekblad for a little bit. Then Kindle and Ekblad. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like every single time a defenseman goes out there, he has a different partner.
All right. So Calby4R asks, why not more local backlash against Coach Tom Rowe? You can still support the team and call out the coach. I think there's been plenty of backlash against Tom Rowe. I mean,
it seems like Panther fans are kind of divided on Twitter.
They are. It's
the
really
ones who
extreme.
don't care about what they say and they just call the team how it is, and then the ones that are friends with ownership that defend anything the Panthers do.
Sure. I'm not friends with ownership, but I think that Tom Rowe as a coach, I think he actually has a little bit of fire in him that the team needs right now. Because when you look at us on paper, and this is just me, not doing too much statistical research on this, but just how I feel about it is, on paper, our roster is phenomenal. I think we have one of the best rosters in the league. When you see a team like that underperforming, that tells you that the team needs a kick in the ass.
Yeah, you can have someone who kicks the players in the ass, but is he a good coach? I don't know. I don't think so.
didn't
You know,
pick
I don't
anything.
know if he's a good coach. Yeah, he's a guy who can yell at the team and tell them, hey, get your ass out there and curse at them and get them going and light a fire under them. You know what I mean? But I mean, is he telling them plays to do, or I don't like what
Like a
does he do?
strategy type.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he have a strategy? I don't think Rowe's that great of a coach.
Okay, did you like Gallant? You were in favor of him over Rowe?
No, actually, if anything, I like Rome more than Gallant. I didn't really
Yeah.
like Gallant, even if when he was back in Montreal, I didn't really like him.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because him and Therrien, they do the same style.
Oh yeah?
And people in Montreal don't even like Therrien, the
Yeah.
style that he does.
Yeah.
So then he brings it over to the Panthers. I say, okay,
Yeah.
I don't like what you're doing either
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah, it's where you take that lead, and then in the third period you
you
sit
just stay back, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't work out. You saw a lot of his questionable choices in the playoffs. Playing guys like Thornton on the power play in the third period in the playoff series. But there were a lot of frustrations with Gallant, and we made a change. I would say it might not have been the best move, but at least we made it near the beginning of the year, so it wasn't too late if we fall deep in the standings. So it was a gamble. We'll see if it pays off. Possum18 on Reddit asks, are we a better team this year than last year?
On paper, yeah.
Generally, just
I mean, the players we have, yeah, I would say, but I just last year I mean, it hurts me to say it, but I think we got really lucky last year. The more that I see last year and see the numbers and everything, we got very lucky last year.
Yeah, talk about what I was bringing up before about shooting percentage. I mean, we overperformed last year with our roster. I think we have such an improved roster now that's underperforming. That will do better. But I'd rather have somebody that's underperforming than overperforming in the long run. This is a team that's built for a long haul.
I find last year we surprised teams.
Yeah.
But this year teams know that we were good last year, so they
Yeah.
play harder against us.
So the generous people that we are, and the gracious hosts that we are, we decided to gift Nick over here the bobblehead,
Yes.
the Yager bobblehead. You waited months for.
Yeah, I waited months. It's October.
Yep, and we're gonna run the clip right now.
Hey, Taylor here from the Buggy Panthers. Got Alex and Ryan here, Ryan get in here. And we're here with Tricky Nicky B. I just want to make sure that everyone understands how generous of hosts we are. So we're giving Tricky Nicky here our most prized possessions.
Make sure
Yager
it's in there.
bobblehead.
It might not be in there.
Especially for him. Congratulations.
How did it feel to get the bobblehead?
Oh, it was finally I got it. So I said, you know what? I said I'm gonna save up my money, so I'm gonna go get it myself. And that's it. And I said, okay, thank you very much.
I left it nice and warm for you in the
Good.
closet.
Motherfucking Star Boy of the Week. Fans voted on Alexander Barkov. He absolutely slayed it this week. I have a feeling he's gonna have a lot of
He's been
motherfucking Star
slaying it for
Boys.
a lot of weeks.
Yeah, he's doing great. Anyway, from the Pucking Panthers podcast, I'm Taylor Craig.
I'm Alex Suisa.
I'm Nicholas Bumbaka.
All right, we'll see you soon.